So we just finished a great walking tour, a free walking tour of Edinburgh. It's something that we always do when we get into a historical city or any city, because it really gives you an understanding about where you're at, the surroundings. So did you sleep well in jail last night?
Yeah, I did.
It was really quiet, really comfortable.
Pretty good, yeah.
Great bed.
Right. It was nice. I mean, I prefer to have more windows.
Who'd have thought?
It's a jail, I guess. So.
Well, duh. You're lucky you even have a window in jail, right?
Yeah.
Who'd have thought sleeping in a jail cell would be nice? So we are on our way out of jail and heading out to do a free walking tour today and exploring the local area.
You know, and one tip is, like, we don't have reservations here tonight. We're someplace else in town here, and you can usually leave your bags almost any place.
Oh, yeah.
Hotels, hostels.
Right.
You know, unless it's probably a private place, but then sometimes you can. So always check that, because then you can drop your bags, and if your flight's later in the day, then you can come back and get them before you jump the bus to the flight or whatever. So.
Yeah, great tip. So, bailing out of jail.
In Parliament Square, and this is actually called Parliament Square because of the building behind me, which is the old Parliament of Scotland. It's not where the Scottish Parliament meets anymore, because the Scottish Parliament now has a new parliamentary seat at the very bottom of the Royal Mile. I don't know if any of you have seen the new Scottish Parliament already. No? And then you have the high buildings on either side of the Royal Mile. And they would have actually built houses as high as that one over there, so that gives you a nice idea. They would have been made of wood back in those days. We are now on Greyfriars Graveyard. This is actually one of the oldest graveyards in Edinburgh. This dates back to 1561. Now, at this point, I would like to ask, what do you think? How many people were buried on this graveyard? There are about 350 years of burials taking place here. 100,000, very good guess. Okay, so 100,000 could be right. 30,000 could also be right, or 80,000, or 180,000, because we don't exactly know how many people are buried here, but we do have a few estimates. So it's at least 28,000 people. That's the lowest estimated number. The highest estimated number is about 200,000 people.
So we just finished a great walking tour, a free walking tour of Edinburgh. It's something that we always do when we get into a historical city or any city, because it really gives you an understanding about where you're at, the surroundings, and all of it.
Yeah, just the history of everything. And it's like I said, we do it at every city we can, regardless of how much history they have, because obviously they all have it. But no, it was good. It
was an excellent tour. It was very fun. She is a English literature major and couldn't find another job, so she decided to do walking tours in Edinburgh.
Which we find a lot. A lot of them are university students or just recently graduated without jobs. And no, it was good.
So she knew a ton of history, of course, and she had some great stories about Edinburgh. And
you learn the history, and then you also kind of can piece that together with the other history that we learned in other countries too. Mm-hmm. And you kind of put it together. And there was stuff that I had no idea. I mean, there's a ton of stuff I don't know.
For sure.
But as we travel, we kind of understand a little bit more. But
absolutely.
I didn't really realize the UK was not Catholic.
Yeah,
I mean,
that was very shocking.
Most of you, I'm sure, know that. But
that was shocking to me.
I didn't. I thought the royal family was Catholic.
Yeah.
But at one time they were.
Lots of history, lots of folklore, everything. I mean, again, biggest recommendation is to take a walking tour when you land in a place anywhere in the world.
Yeah, you learn so much, and like this city is magical.
This city is magical, and
It's
you
Harry
can
Potter.
see why Harry Potter books were written here, and then it was filmed here, and so it is definitely a Harry Potter.
A little bit of a surprise, I guess, because I was expecting maybe a little bit more toward Ireland type of thing, which Ireland did not have these buildings at all.
No, they didn't have much architecture, interesting architecture,
No.
I guess.
No, really. The history was different there.
Edinburgh in Scotland was a very wealthy place at one time, probably still is, but that's why it is so beautiful.
Yeah, and that's probably why Ireland is no longer part of the UK. Like they were probably like the stepchild type of country that never really had a foothold, is where Scotland, their king, was the first king of the United Kingdom. So I guess a queen died, had no heirs to the throne, and so the Scotland king then went down to London and was the king of all the countries. So anyway, that's so it was maybe a little bit more like with Wales, which we haven't been to Wales, is more the reason that there's Scotland still involved or still part of it, I guess.
Gotcha.
And Ireland is a separate island, so that's probably more likely too.
Yeah, very fun tour. Now we are off to find some Scottish food for lunch. Yeah?
Yeah.
Not Five Guys.
Oh, we did that yesterday.
Oh, shh. Off to find some Scottish food.
Five Guys is like every place in the world.
Now, yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so we will see you later in the day. So we're at a haggis box restaurant, and I'm not sure Bob knows what a haggis is. Do you know what a haggis is?
I do.
You do not.
Yes.
What is it?
It was first. You don't know this.
I
do
do
you?
know what
No.
it is.
It was first developed in the Eastern Bloc, so like
Whatever.
Latvia and Riga.
It was not.
Yes.
What
So
do you
this is
what
a
do you
haggis box, right?
Yes.
So this
What do
is
you
the
think it
box.
is? What do you think it is?
It's gonna have some meat in it,
Uh-huh.
and it's gonna
You know it has a whiskey gravy sauce on it because you ordered that.
Right,
But you
but
have no
that's-
idea what the rest of it is.
right. I don't.
I can tell you later.
Well,
I'll let you know when
in a
it
second,
comes.
So I'll know.
I think he's going to be a bit surprised as what a haggis actually is. So I will show you when it arrives. Well, what do you think it is now that you're looking at it? You're going to be a wee bit surprised.
Oreo ice cream on top, and some other sort of pudding on the bottom. So.
It is a pudding of sorts, yes.
Right.
Yes. So what you're eating there is a savory pudding containing sheep's pluck. Do you know what sheep's pluck is? Mm-hmm. It's heart, liver, and lungs, minced with onion, oatmeal, suet, spices, and salt, and some stock. And it's traditionally encased in animal stomach, but I don't think that's encased in animal stomach.
Different.
How's your first bites?
Good.
Yeah?
Yeah, tastes like potato. The
Oh,
top
down
tastes
there,
like
yeah,
the
sure. What about the
top, maybe
topping?
Minced meat of sorts or something,
Right.
Hard to tell. But it's like a sweet potato on the bottom or something like that.
Yeah,
Sauce
there's
is
sweet
good.
potato and mash on the bottom, but the top is all the other sheep stuff.
Yeah.
Tastes pretty good, especially with the sauce. So.
I'm somewhat thankful that I got a vegetarian one because I grew up with all this stuff living on a farm and have eaten things like this before and don't necessarily care for it. I'm always willing to try it, but I'm going to enjoy my vegetarian haggis. That is a whiskey mustard sauce that I just put on the vegetarian haggis. So we are on a very flexible schedule this trip. We haven't booked anything outside in Edinburgh. We decided we would like to stay here for one more day because there's so much to see and do. And so we had to check out from jail and check into a new place. So we are staying in quite the upscale apartment.
It's not a halfway house either.
It's not a halfway house.
This one's unique because you, many times with the ones that come off bookings.com, you don't self-check in. This one had a self-check-in, so you just put the code in. This is sweet. And
This is very nice. Oh my God, all this space. Wow.
It has a kitchen.
We've been staying in closets for the last week.
This one, it was very expensive. It was like $300 to stay another
At
night
the jail.
in the jail. And I mean, it's in a perfect spot.
Yes.
I mean, it's on the Royal Mile. So,
Yes.
But this one's not too far of a walk.
No.
And there's a lot of stuff around here as far as not the historical stuff, but
Still, 10
So
minutes
close.
from here. I mean, the castle's right across
very
the
close.
street.
Yeah, I would stay here and go up there, no problem. But anyway, this was like $93. Everything else was very expensive. This was nice.
Has a kitchen, which I thought was a closet, but not. It's cool. Nice. Here is the bathroom.
Nice.
All this space, man. I just need to spread out.
Nice.
You go on the couch. I'm going to lay on the bed. I'm going to then sit at the table.
You know, we came from Dublin where we had bunk beds, which were fine, but
And we were there for 4 days, living in a
Yeah.
closet.
What did we have before? We were in Killarney.
We were in Killarney, and
The bed took up most of the room, but
Right.
it had a separate bathroom.
that was in a hostel too.
It was okay, but
The jail was a great, fun place to stay at, but it was a jail cell.
one thing we find as we travel, or I do at least, I mean, I'll stay anywhere, doesn't matter, but I like windows.
Yeah, for
I mean,
sure.
more windows than space. I mean, this has both, but
We're not going to
usually
pay
windows.
extra for them though.
No, because we don't stay long enough to make it worrisome. But I do like windows, and this one has windows.
So we're going to spread out. I'm going to use the table to sit at and do some editing because I am not caught up on videos.
Yeah.
And I don't like that feeling of being rushed and pushing them out, and then that videoing isn't that great. But again, that's not my purpose. So let's enjoy the space, and maybe we'll go on a ghost tour tonight. So
Maybe.
we'll see you guys tomorrow morning.